Has golf ever got you to a point where you just feel like giving up, where you try everything, you try all sorts of weird different gimmicks and nothing seems to work for you? You're still on the golfing range for hours and hours, hitting balls after balls, and no matter what you seem to try, nothing seems to work for you. Well, that's what my student Ian felt like before he came to see me for a golf lesson. If I was just to show you the before video right here of his golf swing and then the after video, in one single hour, this is what we were able to achieve. A much better golf swing, way more consistent with his golf shots, and we only changed two things. We changed two things to his entire golf swing that kept things simple for him to go out and play good golf on the golf course. If you're feeling like you're in the same situation at the moment, I'd recommend sticking around to the very end of the video. For those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. I'm Harry, a golf teacher professional, posting content just like this every single week to help you lower your scores. So consider clicking that subscribe button as it helps me grow the channel, and it's completely free to do. And you may not already know, I am an official partner of the golf clothing brand SATORI Golf, who specialise in helping you perform with style on the golf course. Using the discount code below, Harry10, you can get yourself 10% off their clothing. The quality and the fit of the material is excellent, so I'd recommend checking them out if you're in the market for new polos. So when we take a look at Ian's swing then, what he was struggling with in particular was standing too close to the golf ball just to begin with, and barely having any lower body movement in his golf swing, which was causing a lot of issues, because when he was to get to the very top of his golf swing with barely any rotation of the body, he would have to use his arms to throw down to hit the golf ball instead, because everything else is staying very static. So what would happen from this point here is he would throw the club down towards the golf ball, and that would usually encourage the arms to come out in front, especially when hitting the longer stuff like the driver. And this is because when you want to apply a bit more effort into the golf ball without any rotation whatsoever into the backswing, you'll always want to go hit the golf ball. And that's what pushes the arms out. We want to stay nice and relaxed and get the body working in the correct way. But to do that, we had to change the posture just to begin with. So if you're someone standing too close to the golf ball, struggles to tilt over, this is a great drill for you that I got Ian doing as change number one. So I told Ian to take the club across his shoulders and set up just in a nice straight line with his feet ever so slightly wider than shoulder width apart. Now from this point we could bend the knees ever so slightly, and that was to set him up into a more relaxed lower body position. Now for the upper body, we noticed that he was only tilting to about this point here. If we were to take a look on the right hand side of the screen here, you can see the red line is indicating on his spine angle that he isn't tilting over anywhere near enough. Taking a look at the next one afterwards, we made that first change, much better position. So to do that, you're going to feel like someone's got hold of your belt buckle, belly button, and they're going to push you back just like this here until you feel a bit of a stretch in your hamstrings or your lower back. Now this little bit of a stretch is a good thing. It just gives you a good indication of where you want to be set up with your upper body at the address position, but also because you're not used to doing this movement, you're not used to tilting over the golf ball, you are going to feel a little bit awkward, a little bit of that strain in those parts just for the time being. Once you start making a few swings and get used to this, you'll see and feel a big difference, especially when we apply stage two. So we've got the club across the shoulders, just as a quick recap, feet ever so slightly wider than shoulder width apart, we're bending the knees a touch, and then for the final part, we're just tilting over from the hips until we feel that stretch in either our hamstrings or our lower back. So now we're going to take the club out in front of us with the club parallel to the ground. Then we're just going to let it fall until it reaches the ground. Now from here, what I would recommend you doing, and this is what I got Ian doing as well, if it felt like to him he was standing too close to the golf ball, too far away, we just encouraged him to move the golf ball into the correct position as opposed to moving the stance. Because the problem with moving the stance is because it sets the posture out of alignment again. So when this would happen, usually with some of my students when they try this, is that if they go too close, they're going to stand upright. Even if they go a bit too far away, they start to relax and move this upper body into a more preferable position. So going through that routine, club across the shoulders, bending the knees a touch, tilting over, club out in front, then dropping it until it reaches the ground. Now just to begin with, we got him used to hitting a few shots into this new posture position. Now you can see there, pretty good strike, it's curved a bit to the left and it's ended up a little bit short. So how can we start to build this up, get a bit more power and a bit more accuracy So we finish, especially with our irons, closer to the target. Now for Ian, as I mentioned, during stage 1 of making the changes, he struggled to get any sort of lower body rotation as he makes his way into the backswing. So what we had to ensure that we did was to give him a sensation or feeling of the lower body opening up into the backswing. Now I got him to do the same drill, taking the club across the shoulders again, standing in a straight line this time before tilting over and getting yourself into that posture and setup position. I got him just to, first off, just see how far he could get the butt end of the club to point behind him. So as you can see here, for me, I'm able to take the club really far around, and so was Ian when he tried this. So when he got himself set up into that tilted motion and practiced this same move, we were able to take the club even further round and get the club pointing at the golf club that I placed on the ground. That was just an indicator for him so we could check that he was turning enough to get himself set for the downswing. The feeling for him was the right hip moving back and the right shoulder moving back as well. So both from the trail side, really beginning to open up into the backswing. Now, I know what you're thinking. Harry, it's all good being able to get that rotation into the backswing, but I can't do that. Well, I can guarantee that you'll be able to do it more than you think, simply because if you were to do that first drill, where we had ourselves set up into a more upright position and twist, if you can get that club past the golf ball from where it would be landing here, so past that 90-degree angle here, you'll be able to twist a lot more into the backswing than you think. It's just trusting that movement. So tilting over into the posture, feeling that trail hip and trail shoulder moving back as much as we can up to the top of the swing. Now what we had to be careful of when making our way into the backswing was that Ian sometimes, to try and get the club end to point at the club end on the floor, he would move this way, he would shift off the center point to try and get ourselves into position. So if we didn't get back in time, it'd be very difficult to make decent contact with the golf ball. So what I said to him was I actually placed an alignment stick just on the right hand side of his head and just asked him to twist round. And for him, it felt like his trail hip, his right hip, was moving round and backwards this way, as opposed to just pushing it away from the golf ball. It was going round and backwards, just to really get things opening up and to allow for the sternum, our center point of the golf swing, to stay more over the golf ball. And that was just going to make things much easier for Ian when he makes his way into the transition and downswing to strike that golf ball much better and more consistent. Now, just before I dive into the downswing part for this second stage, I just wanted to let you know that I am currently offering in-person and online lessons. Feel free to check out the links down below in the description. There'll be more information for you on there. So, having a look at the downswing, it is a very much so similar concept to what I've just shown you into the backswing. The only thing that changes is we're using, rather than the trail side of our body, we're going to be using the lead side of our body. So the lead side of our body being the left hip and the left shoulder. Obviously, it's the opposite way around for you left-handed golfers watching this video. So if I was just to make my way into that backswing, getting that same feeling from this right hip moving backwards and right shoulder moving backwards as well, really, really turning and winding up to the top of the swing. From here, we got Ian the sensation of getting this left hip to go away from the golf ball as the trail shoulder goes away from the golf ball. And as we were doing this movement back and forth and just rehearsing this trail hip back, lead hip back, it started to really allow him to open up the body, to free up that golf swing of his and start to hit some really nice compressed golf shots. As you get used to this and start to hit a few shots, you are going to lose a little bit of balance if you haven't been so used to doing this movement before. So let's have a look at that one, see if it's gone that bit further. It certainly has. And it's a pretty good shot there, ever so slightly left of the pin. But you will lose balance. And the reason for losing balance is because you're not used to doing this movement and applying this movement into your golf swing. And it's a good thing that you will lose balance because it's you learning how to stay in balance. Every single time someone has lost balance in the golf swing, they've never fallen over. 100% of the people I've seen have never fallen over, so that's the key to it. If you can really focus on exaggerating this move either side, starting to ramp up the speed, trusting the movement back and forth with those hips, you're going to hit great golf shots just like this one. Really committed to that one. That might be a bit too far for this yardage. But yep, much further. On the green though, pretty good shot. Carry of 173 with an 8-iron, I'll definitely take that. So, go ahead and give us a try. Comment down below to let me know your thoughts on this drill that I gave Ian. It's really helped him improve his golf swing, as you can see from the video on the right-hand side of the screen and the video on the left. Huge difference there. Major improvements on the posture and overall golf swing, and he was able to strike the golf ball miles better from those two simple changes. So drop a comment down below, give them a try, and let me know how you get on. And if you'd like to see more content where I help my students improve their game, feel free to check out any of these two on the right-hand side of the screen. The top one where I teach Susan a great drill to help her control the club face throughout her entire golf swing and gain loads more consistency. And the bottom one where I give two of my students, Nick and Dom, a crazy backswing move that allowed their downswing sequence to become automatic. So feel free to check one of those two out. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in one of those two.